ψυχική, σωματική, οικονομική, πνευματική και να γράφει δεν έχει λόγο. Αυτός είναι ο λόγος. Αυτός είναι ο λόγος. Είναι ο λόγος να θεραπευθεί, να καθησυχάσει την ανησυχία του. Αυτή είναι η ιστορία όλη. Όχι για να πάρει το βραβείο. Λοιπόν, εδώ έχουν μπερδευτεί τα πράγματα. Γι' αυτό θεωρώ άχρηστα αυτά όλα τα βραβεία που δίδονται, αυτές οι μεταφράσεις, οι ανταλλαγές, δεν ωφελούν τίποτα. Όσο πιο πολλά λεφτά ρίχνει στην τέχνη, τίποτα δεν πρόκειται να γίνει. Αρχίζει ο άλλος, μα τι λες, δεν μας ενισχύει. Τι να σε ενισχύσει. Ενισχύθηκε ποτέ κανείς. Ενισχύθηκε ο Παπαδιαμάντης. Νομίζεις τώρα να έπαιρνε επιχορηγήσεις, θα έγραφε τίποτε. Πάψε βρε παιδάκι. Αυτά είναι παραμύθια να πω. Κανένα έργο δεν γίνεται σε μία μέρα. Ακούς, να ξέρεις, κανένα καλό έργο δεν γίνεται γρήγορα. Είναι αυτά τα έργα που γίνανε τα μεγάλα, είναι οι εξαιρέσεις. Είναι αυτά κάτι μετέωρα του Ρεμπό. Ξέρεις τώρα τι λένε. Εντάξει. Αυτός μπόρεσε σε ένα χρόνο και έβγαλε. Ήτανε κάποιος άλλος μέσα του και τελείωσε. Αλλά μιλάμε τώρα για το συνειδητό καλλιτέχνη, πρέπει να του βγει η Παναγία. Δεν μπορεί χωρίς κόπο να βγει τίποτε. Όλα αυτά που βλέπεις και τα θαυμάζεις και σ' αρέσουν και γελάς, κλαις, αυτά έχουν γίνει με τεράστιους κόπους, με ξενύχτια, με αυτά, με εξευτελισμούς και με ένα σωρό θυσίες. Δεν γίνεται γρήγορα τίποτα. Και ο κήπος δεν γίνεται. Χρόνια για να γίνει. Για να γίνει ένα δέντρο, μανούλα με αυτά. Είναι 60 χρόνια δέντρα. Δεν είναι ηλικία. Εγώ τα βρήκα τόσα ή δεν υπήρχαν. Τα φύτεψα, κατάλαβες. Θέλει δεκαετίες να γίνουν οι κήποι. Λοιπόν, σου λέει ο άλλος έχει κήπο. Μα δεν έχω κήπο, καταρχήν. Μετά, ο κήπος δεν είναι γραφικό. Κατάλαβες τι εννοώ. Εδώ μέσα έχει τάφους. Γι' αυτό σου δείξα. Έχει τάφους μέσα. Εδώ. Δεν είναι γραφικό τώρα εδώ ότι έχω ένα γατάκι εγώ. Διότι δεν έχω ένα γατάκι πρώτα απ' όλα. Έχω ένα γατάκι που είναι έτοιμο θάνατο. Αυτό. Το βλέπεις εκεί. Ξεψυχάει. Από μέσα έχω το άλλο, το τρελό. Λοιπόν, όλη τη νύχτα και από το παράθυρο έβγαινε και ένα τρίτο, η χιόνα, και ούρλιαζε όλη τη νύχτα. Πού να κλείσω μάτι. Σου λέει περνάει καλά άλλος από εκεί σπίτι. Τι ανάγκη έχεις εσύ. Τι να τους πεις. Μια ζωή αυτό. Με θεωρούν πλούσιο και με θεωρούν ότι δεν έχω ανάγκη τίποτα. Λοιπόν, κατάλαβες. Και δεν ξέρουν ότι και αυτά που έχω κάνει τα έχω κάνει με τεράστιο κόπο. Τα ελάχιστα. Τίποτα έχω κάνει εγώ. Τίποτα. Έπρεπε να είχα άλλη τόση ζωή για να κάνω άλλα 3 βιβλιαράκια. Και δεν ξέρω αν προλαβαίνω τώρα να ολοκληρώσω κάτι ελάχιστα πράγματα που θέλω. Γι' αυτό σου λέω. Άρα βλέπεις ότι. Κάκιοψε, θύμωσε. Έβρεξε την άλλη γάτα μέσα. Τι είναι πουλάκι μου. Μαϊνάκι μου, μαϊνάκι μου. Μπα, δεν μπορούμε. Λίγο κοκκιμαδάκι να δω. Πρέπει να πάρει τα ποδαράκια της. Και δεν είναι μεγάλη γάτα. Είναι 3-4 ετών. Πώς διάλογο είναι έτσι. Είναι αυτή που είσαι ξαναβγάλει και τον όμορφη. Θυμάσαι πώς ήταν. Αυτό σου λέει δεν υπάρχει τίποτα όρθιο. Θέλω να ακούσω. Κλείνω και τα μάτια μου, βγάλει κανένα μάτι. Γιατί αυτή ξέρεις. Τι είναι κοριτσάκι.
So this is the latest film of Eva's, and I really hope it finds an audience in Greece, because it's such a strong work, really moving. So I think we're kind of wrapping up, but that was just such a great reminder about making work from a place that comes from deep personal need. Is he a poet? Was he a poet?
Yeah.
He was a teacher of yours?
Mentor. Yeah. I started making a film about him, and we ended up being very, very close friends, and speaking like an hour and a half on the phone every day. Because he was like, "How are you doing?" "Well, I'll tell you first." And he went on like an hour and a half. "Now you tell me what you're doing." Very charismatic personality. Not well known at all in Greece. Nobody knows him.
I really hope they know him after seeing this film, because he's just a natural philosopher who brings philosophy down to such an intimate level, and reminds you just of the beauty of thinking, I think, for me, when I saw it. And the relationship with you is so clear in the camera. There's just such a beautiful sort of invisibility of the camera itself.
I didn't understand the idea of pitch at all. I mean, he would just like say, what? You know, pitch for, he would just not, he wouldn't able to conceive the idea. Why pitch? I mean, if you want to make a film, make a film. You know, what does I think of pitch? You know.
And maybe that's just good for us to remember. If you want to make a film, make a film. Because although we teach you to pitch, I hope we also don't put you off that other part, which is so important to keep alive. And if you want to make a film, make a film. Is that okay to say?
Yeah.
I think. And the other lesson I want to get from Eva is don't wait till you're confident. She's not confident, but she's a great filmmaker. And, you know, I think sometimes we have this thing that we think we'll reach this place where we're confident. Well, Eva has won at Cinéma du Réal. She's had her work shown in international broadcasters. She's a very good filmmaker, but she'll never be confident. So don't pretend, don't worry about that. Just get on and get working and find that need and make work from that place. Is that okay to say? And now she's not going to be confident about what she said now either, are you? No, of course not.
But I feel it's like this child that's very, you know, like πώς λέμε το προβληματικό παιδί, το disabled, you know, like whatever.
I think we can all see the strength in her work, and thank you very much for going through this agony, Eva.
Thank you very much. We're not going to pitch now, you're going to present your film projects. But anyway, I think we should take just 5 minutes break before we do that. But please keep it like 5 minutes break and not turn it into half an hour. And when you come back, we'll take your presentations by the book, just so that you know in the order that they are in the book, right? And I would like you to come up here and talk to your colleagues and see the visuals. Okay, see you back in 5 minutes. Thank you. I think they work both of them. So yeah. Okay, friends. Do we have a feeling that everybody's here? I think we should start then. Now I'm being offered. No, thanks. Okay, welcome back. So we have a couple of hours for you to present your films, your projects, and let me repeat myself. I mean present. I don't mean pitch. This is in order for those of your colleagues that haven't met you yet, and that's most of you, right? To get to know about your projects. It's of course very important that you know each other projects so that you can talk about them and inspire each other and help each other. So that's what you're doing now. Because even tomorrow, as you can see from the program, it will be individual meetings with you and between you and the tutors. So you don't have that much time to listen to each other's plans. So that's what we'll do now. Okay. And as I said, I think we shall just take it by the book. I forgot to repeat another thing. We'll just go from one project to another. There's no discussion, no questions and stuff like that. We have a little more time for that on Friday, but for now it's listening to you and your presentation. Okay, so and I think you should come up here, and then hopefully it will work with the visual material that you have. So we start with number 1, of course, IHO. Sorry? Which has now a new title? Yeah. Maybe? Okay. Eliza, it's all yours.
Thank you. So my name is Eliza Zdru. I'm director of the first project called IHO, which I think I will change the title of. My project is an observational documentary about 4 characters. They are 4 polyphonic singers that live in a village in southeast Romania. And their story is that about 5 years ago, they were discovered by a famous Romanian singer who started to take them to concerts around the world, started to promote them, helped them launch a CD. So these anonymous people suddenly became minor music stars, you could say. And I would like to show you the trailer now. I will tell you a bit more after. This is a trailer that I want to change, so it's sort of a work in progress.
Uite, Sinaia, Brașov, Făgăraș.
Снег, свет, că nu vedeți cum tu.
Haide, Vasile, haide! Haide tu-și la trei libere, că mai mare more. Haide, haide! Haide, Doamne, viața mă
Pani siamo.
Sì.
Da. E. Doi.
So as you can see, my characters are all around 80 years old. But even if they don't have age on their side, what they do have is a kind of a very fresh humor and a joy of life, and you can totally feel that when you're around them. But their drama, their little big drama, so to speak, is that these songs that they sing, they are a very integral part of their culture. They have been passed down from generation to generation to them, and their problem is that they can't find followers, young followers, who to teach their songs to. So in the film, I will also follow a narrative line of Giorgio, which is the grandson of one of them, who travels to the concerts with them because he drives the car in which they travel. And he makes several attempts to learn how to play his grandfather's instrument, but he fails every time. This is, I call it a road movie, but that's not really what the point of this movie is. Their journey is more like an excuse to show who they really are. And I think it's very ironic that while they have been traveling all around the world to promote this music, they don't have in their families close to them. They don't have followers who to teach these songs to. And I think that the tone of the film will mix nostalgia with humor. Nostalgia because of these songs. And there are some very powerful stories linked to them. And humor because of the characters, actually. They use a lot of irony and a lot of self-irony to talk about themselves. And what I want to add is that I'm very unsatisfied with this trailer. And I'm thinking of changing it. So on Friday, you will see a different version of it. Yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a very good cliffhanger for Friday, Elisa. That was a very good cliffhanger for Friday. Yeah, we want to see the new trailer. Thank you very much. And we go to project number 3, Piccole Trasgressioni. Sorry, my Italian. Uli and Philippe, please. If you stand there.
Ja. Ja. Hi, my name is Felipe Frozza.
And I'm Uli Decker.
I was born in Brazil.
I was born in Bavaria.
I was raised in a small Catholic village.
Oh, so was I.
Really? Okay. And in this village, people told me always that boys were boys and girls were girls.
Me too. And I wondered why.
Me too.
I wanted to be a sailor.
I wanted to play with sailors.
One day, I set sail to Brazil.
And I flew to Italy. There, many people started asking me if I was a Brazilian transsexual. And I suddenly thought, why? Why are they asking me this? And this question made me really curious to understand what was the fate of these people that were there in this country, immigrants like me.
When I came back to Germany, I found out that my father had been a transvestite. And this made me have a very different viewpoint on my own and my family's history.
But this one that we're going to show you is not a film about us. Maybe a little bit.
But it's a film about a village, a place where people happen to spend their time in the same place, but living on different planets at the same time.
Play.
Não espere que depois dessa existe outra vida. Não, a vida é a mesma. A vida eterna já está sendo vivida por todos nós. Depois da morte continuamos a ser o que já somos. Portanto, procure ser agora, antes de morrer, aquilo que você deseja continuar a ser depois da morte, porque a morte não existe.
La morte non esiste. Pensi così?
Mas é assim.
Però io a volte mi metto nei panni di una persona, tipo una moglie, che scoprire che il marito non ha una donna come amante, che già sarebbe pesantissimo, ma che ha un uomo, io non sono mica pronta per una roba del genere e credo che tante donne non lo sono.
Quello su cui invece mi piacerebbe appuntare l'attenzione, perché lì proprio io non ho risposta, è una grandissima parte degli omosessuali scopre di essere omosessuale a 25, 30, 35, 40 anni.
Io non vivo l'idea di classe di giorno nel senso di continuativo, la mia è una questione legata al cinema. Tutte le attività commerciali, così come io vengo da Ravenna per il cinema, gli albergatori, nessuno è del posto, vengono da Sant'Arcangelo, da Forlì, da Cesena, vengono tutti da fuori.
Allora, ecco qua, stanno arrivando in questo momento i bimbi che fanno il trenino. Quando fanno il trenino io gli metto su sempre questa musichetta per vedere. Ecco qua che arrivano. Lì in mezzo c'è anche la...
non saprei vivere senza il libro di classe. Forse perché c'è il lago, non so, che mi ispira alla poesia. Può capitare che un giorno verrà distrutto tutto quello che è rimasto qui di verdi per fare degli alberghi e tutto quanto, poi dopo alla fine, dopo non avrà più quel lago lì. Questo mi dispiacerebbe, sì. Morirà non solo la mia carne, ma anche l'anima. Muore con me, c'è anche l'anima. Per me è tutto finito, però.
Well, our initial idea was to make a portrait about this place and following different characters that you've seen in the film. But after the talks we had here, and we already knew that in the beginning probably, we saw that we have one very, very strong character, which is Kelly, the last person. And we have decided to make a portrait about her, a half-an-hour portrait. But we still don't want to give up on our initial idea to connect seemingly, apparently unconnected lives by finding the underlying links that connect them. And this way, because we want to not just to follow one exotic character, but we would like to have different ways of figuring out what life is and different ways of dealing with issues that concern all of us in this little place. At the moment, we are kind of looking for a way to do that, and we don't know if we are going to be able to do it, but we haven't given up on that either. But we definitely want to do something on Kelly, which and you don't know her yet, but she's like the strongest character at the moment, but we look.
Yeah, and what is lacking still in what we have already shot some stuff, and we spend most of the time with the transsexuals inside this place. And what we're looking for is actually going there and to spend more time with the Italians, because we think it's a very good contrast to understand what is going on in this city. Because from one side there's a big conflict, and from another side they're actually living there for more than 20 years. So what they're interested in these stories is how they interact with each other, actually, even if they don't know each other. What is the grayscale that allowed them to be in this place?
And we don't have a producer yet, and we don't have any funding, so we are looking for both. Yeah, anyone interested can talk to us later.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
So that was not a cliffhanger for Friday, but for next time we meet. It sounds like that, huh? Things, a lot will happen in the coming month with the project. Okay, thank you very much. Planet Olympus, Dominique from France, there you are. Please.
Thank you. It's a film about a village too. It's a Greek village named Olympus, and this village is located on an island named Karpathos. And Olympus is at the very northern part of Karpathos, and it's an isolated village. And the film speaks about the village and the inhabitants, and all the film is about the way villagers keep the social links alive in this village. And the way they found to keep these social links alive is to transform, during summertime, the village in a theater play. And on this theater play, there is a stage, an open stage, of course. There are many actors and singers, dancers, and musicians too. And what is interesting is that it's the best way that the villagers found to connect with their migrants, because about 80% of the villagers emigrated in the US and mostly in Baltimore. And on summertime, people coming from Baltimore come to the village to live what they have been living during their childhood. And they participate to this theater play during summertime. And what is on the trailer is not updated because during the training yesterday and this morning, I was convinced that my first idea to tell the story, in fact, sending letters to Sophia, a friend of mine, a Greek friend of mine, was not a good idea. But it's still on the trailer, but it's not updated. It's number 4, please. Dear Sophia, it was not easy to reach Olympus, but here I am. Sophia, what you said is true. Women seem to be working all the time. And people here are very religious.
Μας τα κούλασε, είπε, τους κοζινιά της παχμένη μαϊμούσου. Sophia, I was told men were forced to immigrate to remote foreign countries. Thanks to the women remaining in Olympus, people had food enough in the village.
Sofia. I send you this video to bring back memories. Warm regards from planet Olympus. Dominique. So what I want to show is before the different performances, how people prepare themselves to participate to this theater play, which is not so easy to see in the trailer because ideas are going on and. It's not the way I built the trailer, but really in the village I can get enough shots to show this theater play and its preparation. So I want to show the immigrants coming from Baltimore and people remaining all year long in the village, and how they participate to this Glendi. It's the Greek name for this kind of celebrations, and there is a special character named Kostas. It's somebody interesting because he immigrated during a long time. He worked on ferries, on mechanic, and he went from Japan to Alaska, and he returned to Olympus to marry a girl from Olympus, and after back to the US, and now he is living in Olympus, and as he does not want an idle retirement, he is a grocer, the village grocer. He is somebody very important in Glendi because he can guarantee the success of a Glendi. And his daughter and his son-in-law participate a lot in the dancing and playing music and so on. Thank you for attention.
Thank you very much. So we go to Cyprus. Project number 5, Price of Daughter. And now we not only have Stavros with us, but also the director. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so do it yourself.
Hi, my name is Yeliz Shukri. I couldn't be with you yesterday, so I'm going to present my project today. In 1995, my protagonist and friend, Pembe Mentesh, was doing a university project. And her university project was to do a family tree. And in the process, she went and asked her mother who her relatives were and who her mother's aunties were, etc. And she started listing her relatives. And Pembe said, okay, I know such and I know such has passed away, but who is this woman? And I have not met her. And she said, oh yeah, you haven't met her because she was sold to an Arab in the 1930s, and we never heard of her again, from her again. Of course, Pembe was in shock. As she described, she was devastated. She tried to find out information pertaining to why and how this happened. But from Australia, she really couldn't do much. She came to Cyprus, and still it was really difficult to find out anything because there was very limited information about what happened. And not long ago, about 5 years ago, a researcher published a book stating that at least 4,000 women were sold between the 1930s and the late 1950s. And I coined the term soul because that's the way it is coined in Cyprus, because Turkish Cypriot women were, well, in Cyprus culture, women were not given, there was no such thing as dowries. So hence, because of the poverty, the fathers basically did sell their daughters to get the money. I want to show you the trailer. It is a work in progress. It has to change quite a bit because I don't think it presents exactly how I want to show this documentary, but maybe you can take a look at it and it can tell you a little bit more.
Etine hala 18 yaşlarındaydı oralarda. Geldiler dışarıdan istediler yeni. 2 erkeğiydi. 10 liraya verdiydi.
10 liraya sattılar.
Sattılar kendini.
Biz Kıbrıslı Türkler olarak Araplara 1920'li yılların sonundan başlayarak 1950 yılların başına kadar 4000'e yakın kız sattık.
She said to her father, if you give me away, I'll never come back. You'll never see me again. And she kept her promise. I mean, she left from this house and never came back. We haven't seen her. No one has seen her. No one's heard from her.
En çok Filistin'e kız verdik biz. Mısır'a da bir miktar verdik ama esas Filistin'di. Çünkü ikisinin de İngiliz sömürgesi oluşu ve Müslüman olmaları, Filistinlilerin çok yakın bir ilişki vardı.
İnsan severek gitse, isteyerek gitse, belki yazamasa bile adını bilmez eski insanlar. Eskiden bilmese bile herkes gider de komşunun çocuğundan bile mektup yazdırırdı. Bu kadın öyle olsa giderdi değilim.
Şimdi ailede hiç bilen yok mu kim evlendi, nereye gitti?
Şimdiye kadar olmadı ama dediğim gibi yani şimdiye kadar da hiç kimse konuşmak istemedi zaten. For something that I thought was completely hopeless and everyone was telling me forget about it, you'll never find her, there's nothing, there's no information. Actually there is information. I'm starting to realize that now and I feel like, you know, everything will lead to every piece of information we find will lead to another piece of information.
Kızlarımızın bir bölümü 3. 4. eş olarak gittiler oraya ve hatta bütün evin kahrını çektiler. Nasıl mı çektiler? Burada kendilerini işte avukat olarak, hakim olarak yahut hep doktor olarak tanıtan Arapların büyük bölümü, tümü değilse bile büyük bölümü gemiye binince nikahta kıyıldıktan sonra o lüks elbiseleri çıkarıp entarisini giyiyor ve ya bir karpuz satıcısı ya şu bu yani öyle çok basit işler. Nitekim bir bölümünü bunların genel evde çalıştırdılar maalesef. Yahut da başkasına sattılar.
O zaman Alman hem İngiliz harbundaki gittilerdi. Bizim köyden asker. Bir Ali vardı, bir de Menteş. Gittiler, buldular kendini şeyde, Filistin'de. Çarşıda gezermiş idi, yalın ayak. Ne babuş giyerdi, ne ayakkabı giyerdi.
Tanıdılar kendini aslında.
Tanıdılar.
Bizi sattınız ve hiç hatırlamadınız. Bizimle önce konuşmadılar. Konuşmak istemediler. Bizi sattınız.
Okay, so since making the trailer, there's been a lot more developments. Firstly, we found out that Pembe's great aunt was 13 years old when she was sold, so we have a lot of conflicting information and we still need to ask a lot more questions and look through a lot more official documents to get the facts straight, basically, but her great uncle specified specifically the year that she was sold. Other than that, basically we found, when we spoke to Pembe's great uncle, the last living sibling of Fetine Memiş, we found out the village that she was sold to, and Pembe contacted the village, and she found, and the village mayor was very happy to help, and they basically located the family. And we had a phone call, and we filmed the phone call to confirm whether it was them or not, and it turned out to be them, and Fetine Memiş passed away 5 years ago. So if Pembe had looked for her auntie in 1995, she would have found her. But she has a lot of relatives. She had 3 children, Fetine Memiş, from her first marriage, and because of an abusive husband, apparently, she left him and the children and married again and had 10 children from her second husband. We want to follow Pembe, and we want to go to Palestine, and that's on the books next, basically. And we want to go and meet these people and hear their story, hear who this woman was. I mean, draw the picture of Fetine Memiş. I mean, when we first started this documentary, we didn't have a photo, and the photo that you saw was actually found during the filming. And the initial idea was to make a sketch of her based on people's ideas of recollections of what she looked like. You know, she had long hair, she was always smiling, and but now we have a picture, but still with that logic, we still want to paint the picture of her because we don't have one really. We want to know who she is, was she happy, what kind of life she led, and this way Pembe can find out who this woman is, who this woman who's part of her family is, but at the same time tell the story of so many other thousands of women that have been forgotten, because unfortunately, whether it's guilt or whether there's other reasons for it, many people don't want to know what happened to these women. And it is our aim to tell the personal story of Pembe Menteş, but also to find out the story of the 4,000 plus women that were sold.
Thank you. Project number 6, More Than a Number. Vitor, Portugal, welcome.
Hi, my name is Vitor, I'm from Portugal. I'm here to present to you a project for a documentary film for 60 minutes. The project name is More Than a Number. In Lisbon, on average, 120 people die every year without having friends or relatives to go to their funeral and to pay for their funeral. Despite of this fact, there are a Christian brotherhood of volunteers who attend to these funerals just to say a last goodbye. Now I will show you a small teaser that I made.